toes, sinking, 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 sinking in. Sinking deep into your understanding, standing, 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 yeah. Guiding me through your waves like the river's flowing.
I'm gonna start here specifically to help remind you. What was your name again? I didn't catch your name earlier. Warren. My name's Sagib, so it's nice to meet you, right? Sure. So, like I asked you earlier, Christ set up an order of the household, right? According to even grown up Baptists, now you're coming into saying you've met brothers that'll tell you you're not Baptist, you're an Israelite. That's why I was trying to get to earlier over there. The Bible does not say anything about being Baptist, anything like that. Like I said, Christ said, keep the laws. Christ said, you repent or you suffer, right? So, let's get 1 Corinthians 11 real quick.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3. Yeah. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man.
All right, so now Exodus 20. So, now that we've got where it said, this man is what started the Baptist faith. He started for his slave masters to keep the slaves in order. What that did was it flopped the order of the household to say now women can teach, women can be pastors, women can be preachers and prophetesses, women can be kings, and the men are mentally subdued. We're physically weak, but mentally, no, I'm sorry. It says we're physically strong, but mentally we're weak. Right? That's what all of these religions did. All the ones that want to say follow the laws, but we started in the 1800s, those are Puritan faiths. Those religions that were started to help keep us down. But now that you got it, even that little part, right? We're going to go over specifically with the Sabbath, because that's today. Of all days today, you ran into us today for a reason, right? Go ahead.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
So, as the man of the household, as the head of the household, everybody under you, everyone that lives under you, whether it be your wife, your kids, your grandkids, nephews, or whatever, they all have to listen to you when you say, remember the Sabbath, right? Now, it's up to you to know, how is it that you remember the Sabbath? Because that's a lesson that you can teach your wife. Hey, even if it's not word for word, like what we're about to bring out with the scriptures, you can say, hey, babe, you know, I was reading earlier, we're not supposed to do this, that, and the other. You know, oh, no, you can't come over right now because we're keeping the Sabbath. We can't do A, B, and C, right? So here's some of the ways that you can remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. Because now you've been told, so now you can remember. Next week when you see brothers in purple, that's right, today's the Sabbath, right? Here's how you remember it and keep it holy.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
So first of all, there's no working on the Sabbath. All of these businesses all up and down the street should be closed. All up and down the street should be closed. And that will help. That alone will help eliminate half the crime in the city. If they simply close on the Sabbath. Because now you don't have sales, which means our people are not breaking the Sabbath to buy and sell. Which means our people are not coveting the latest Jordans that drop. Our people are not post up on the corner saying, oh, I got to catch a bus to go to work. Right? That one bit contains a lot that can help our people, especially the older generation. Help teach the younger ones. Though you can teach your wife, hey, we're not supposed to be working, so if they call you for overtime, don't do it. I'm not supposed to be working, so I'm not going to go in. I'm going to tell my boss, well, I can't do it. It goes against my faith, right? Now the next part, get the no buying and selling.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
Because if you're working, you are producing income. That alone on the Sabbath day, not supposed to do. That's why I said, if you keep it holy, there's a lot of things that cascades into it, right? Ready, Nehemiah? Go ahead.
Nehemiah chapter 10, verse 31. And if the people of the land bring ware or any victuals on the Sabbath day.
Ware or victuals are just things that you buy, whether it be clothing, or food. That's why I asked you about that, right? So, keeping the Sabbath day, no working. The stores are closed. Now, let's say if you do pass somebody and they got their food cart out here, right? That's a victual. That's something that they're bringing to you to buy on the Sabbath day.
On the Sabbath day to sell, that we would not buy it of them on the Sabbath.
So you're not supposed to buy or sell on the Sabbath day. That's what this here is saying, is that even if you met somebody else, let's say you met somebody from another nation, you still should not be buying from them because they're not going to keep the law. We have to keep the law, right? Is that it?
Or on the holy day.
So even on the new moons, on the feast days, on Pentecost, on Passover, on Tabernacles, those are all days we're not supposed to work, buy, or sell. Get no cooking. The next thing with that one, because all of these things wraps up into one pie, right? Think of it like that. You got different portions of it. No buying and selling. Stores being closed. No working. Now, no cooking. With also saying a brother got killed for that. This is love that we're trying to show you so that you don't have to face those circumstances. You can teach your wife so she doesn't have to face those circumstances. Go ahead.
Exodus chapter 35 and verse 3. Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations.
Not kindling any fire throughout your habitations. That's not saying not to have on heat. That would be ridiculous because we live in a cold climate. Pennsylvania gets a lot of snow. So you can still have the heat on, but when it comes to kindling fire, it's specifically for cooking, right? I want you to think about that. Pizza is a baked item, right? It's often known as a fire-kindled item. Even in a lot of these stores, these other stores, they sell fire-baked ovens. They're telling you straight up, hey, we're here to break the law. That's not what the Bible says. Read it again.
Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations upon the Sabbath day.
So not in your house, not when you go to your wife's house or your wife's the in-laws' house, right? Those are all parts of your habitations. You can't even say, hey, well, I'm not in my house, so I'm going to plug in this lunchbox that auto heats my food. No, we can't do that. It tells you don't cook on this day, cook the day before and set that food aside. Cook the day before and set that food aside. That way you can have it for later. You can have cold foods on the Sabbath, things like sandwiches, salads, soups, all those things, as long as it is cooked on Friday before sundown and then set aside. Let's get the sundown part in Genesis. The issue with that is that a lot of our people, we don't know that because we were raised by these men. A lot of our people wasn't even raised by our parents. They was raised by oppressors. We get sent to church every day. Get sent to church every Sunday, vacation Bible school, Bible study, right? You got the deacons in there messing around with each other's wives.
Right.
I know all that.
Exactly. And the thing is that if you know that, did you leave that?
Huh?
Did you leave that environment?
Yeah.
When did you leave? How old was you?
We left that environment?
Yeah.
When my mom passed away.
Okay, so that would
mean
mean
2013.
So that would mean that the only reason you
But I
left was
still
because
read
of
the Bible.
grief.
Exactly.
Okay? That doesn't mean that you
she
left
was my
because it's
God.
wrong. That means you left because of grief. Your mom was the one that held you to this
Exactly.
standard.
Yeah.
That's wrong according to the Bible.
Right.
Well,
That's what we're here to tell you. Like, because if she held you to the Bible, right? I'll tell you the same thing that I asked my father. My father passed away at 73 years old. So here, I'm gonna ask you the same question. If you go to church every day of your life, every week of your life, and they say there's no red lettering in the Bible at all, they harp on that. No red letters, no red letters, no red letters. Then one day you drop your book and it opens to Matthew and half the Bible is red and you ask them, hey, what is this? And they're like, don't worry about it. What does that mean? It means they lied to you.
Right.
Your entire life, they
one
lied
day
to
I
you.
listened to my mom. I didn't listen to them.
Your mom listened to them and taught you. She lied to you.
That was the way she was raised.
It doesn't matter. I told you, I spent 20 years in the Baptist church. I've been doing this for 10. I recognize they lied to me.
Right.
I recognize they lied to my wife.
Right.
They lied to my parents, my grandparents. This man, the same man that raped your grandfather, raped your grandmother, killed your siblings, cut them up as gator bait, and then threw them in the river, lied to you, and then said, you're Baptist, your last name is Johnson.
Right.
He taught you, hey, even these right here, the Seventh-day Adventists and Jehovah's Witness, those fools don't keep the Sabbath, and they say they keep the Sabbath.
They try to make me one right there.
Exactly. Read it again. Yeah. What I'm saying is like, no, in Genesis, about the sundown. Because this man said, we're now going to worship on Sunday. Right? That is a part of Greekish fashion. They're worshiping a sun god. However, the Sabbath day is before that.